Okay, so the topic for today is, are you preparing to leave if you always plan ahead? Ladies, first thoughts.
As
Not
an
if it's quiet.
affirmation, I think you should never let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. That's what my mama told me. And
Her.
um,
And
I
she been
feel,
married
and
multiple
she's been
times.
married multiple times to
Whew.
different men. And I will say though, like, it's not about preparing, like you're planning to leave. You just don't know what is to happen. Like, it's like car insurance. Like, you don't like, go outside every day and expect to get into a car accident, but you pay for it. So in the
Just in
event that
case.
something does happen,
Yeah.
that's what you have. You're covered and you're okay. So I look at it in the
Hmm.
same perspective.
Hmm.
Marriages are, to me, I always say marriages are like a business agreement, and businesses can fail. It's not something that, like, it is not, nothing is set in stone and nothing is permanent. So I'm not planning to escape. It's just if it's necessary for that to happen, then you're covered. Like I
Yeah.
said, like
And
insurance.
that's why I believe in prenups too. Because prenups, people be like, "Oh, you don't want a prenup." Who's to say that this person's not going to be faithful? This person's not going to do what he said he was going to do. God forbid he does something wrong, and now you left by yourself, left to your own devices, don't know what to do because you expected this person to take care of you, or you expected this person to um help you as much as you helped them during a relationship. Never know.
Facts. I feel that. To me, honestly, that concept is, I don't feel like it's preparing to leave. 1,000% what you said, Shantae. Things could fail, and at the end of the day, y'all know I'm a firm believer in men invest in what they love. And so
Mm-hmm.
it shouldn't even be looked at with some sort of negative connotation as far, or even looked at as preparing to leave. It's like, yes, okay, I'm making investments, but
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't necessarily have to be dependent upon you not being around anymore. Like, I'm making investments towards my future, whether it's stock, whether it's businesses, stuff like that. And so, yeah, preparing to leave, I feel like that's not really a thing. I feel like that thought process comes into play when a partner is feeling insecure, and
Or they want
they
to
feel
leave.
like, you trying to get big on me, you trying to do it without me.
I feel like that person might want to leave. I feel like the person that brings up leaving always is the person that deep down wants to leave. Because somebody asking you like, "Oh, do you want to leave?" Like that's nothing I ever said or thought of until you said something. So maybe you the person that's really thinking about actually going through with breaking up, but you don't want to be the person that says, "Okay, let's break up." You want it to be the other person, so that way you don't feel bad and that way you don't feel guilty. I don't like that either.
Yeah, projecting, definitely projecting. Yeah. I
I
don't
think that I think it's more so like you said, it is an insecure thing if a person feels like, oh, you're planning to leave me if you do X. Like, you know, I'm not planning to die, but I have life insurance. So
right.
it's,
Hmm.
I mean,
Like you said
in
with car
most,
insurance, you don't plan to go out there and crash, but
I
God
mean,
forbid somebody
most days
crash
I
into
don't plan
you.
to die. Most days I
Lord
don't
have
plan to
Lord.
die, but no,
We're
it's like
recording.
you don't, you don't go out and, you don't, it's like, like I said, it's just like
She's
those things to
joking,
have
guys. We don't really
covered.
believe in that type of stuff. We don't
Hot mic
promote
moment.
violence against others or yourself. Lord have mercy. Disclaimer.
Speak for yourself. It's like,
She doesn't mean it.
but
That's what
no,
I'm
it's just
saying.
like you don't have, like, you just don't go out with the expectation that it's not going to work. You don't have the expectation that it's not, you know what I mean? Like, you're, like I said, you're going to get an accident, or today is the day. Like, you go out with the expectation that you still have tomorrow. And I guess that's one of the things, as people, we take for granted, because we always think that we always have tomorrow. But that's just the nature of the game. Like, we all, oh, we'll do it. I'll do it tomorrow. I can do this. You know what I mean? So it kind of just comes with, just, you see forever with that person, but sometimes forever isn't forever. And they know that just like you know that. Like it's not like this is a newfound phenomenon. Like this is
In the
like
words of black people,
Exactly.
you might wake up dead. So who's to say
yeah,
that?
Exactly. And that's
Who's
what
to
I'm
say
saying.
exactly.
that?
That's why, to me, it definitely gives 1,000% is rooted in insecurity because at the end of the day, like you said, sir, you might leave me. You
Yeah.
know what? To
Exactly.
if you're doing everything for me, and we do have that dynamic where I want for nothing. What happens? If something happens to you, now what I'm supposed to do? And but I feel like that concept. Oh well, you prepare to leave. No, I'm just, in times of peace, you prepare for war. That's it, and that's all.
Absolutely.
God forbid something happens, you have to. Failure to plan is, plan for failure. Like,
You think it's shady to have a secret account that you and
I
I feel
was
partner
like
like,
know
a
about?
secret account?
I feel like it shouldn't be secret. I feel like it shouldn't be secret. That's an insecurity thing because again, that goes back to
And why
a
not?
man invests in what he loves. So I
Exactly.
should be able to tell you, hey, daddy, I set this account up. So, your allowance you give me or whatever, I put X amount in this account because I'm doing XYZ, blah, blah, blah. And you should feel validated enough in your relationship to be able to come in and tell your partner that, especially if y'all do have that kind of dynamic.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting.
Let's hear about the secret account.
Exactly. Secret is a strong word. Secret means that he
Such a
don't know.
strong. Maybe he just doesn't know, but like
Hidden.
I didn't overtly just come out and say I'm opening this account, like But
Okay.
hey,
Oh,
I've gained this portfolio, and I have it in my portfolio.
Oh,
Um,
right, right. Uh-huh.
like yes,
So these is the keywords I'm listening for. Got you. Okay. Do
so
tell. Do
exactly.
tell.
yes.
And
Put
then
so
us
in
what?
up on game wealth management.
so in my portfolio or my wealth folder, if you will, I have, stocks and different accounts that are tied to, family and familial assets. So that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm being secret. That's why I say secret is a harsh word. It's not
Yeah.
secret. It's maybe not just overtly open, but I don't think it's like secret because if
It's
you
not a
go on
joint.
to Fidelity or something and you pull up my Fidelity account and you'll see, oh, she does have this and she has a 501c3 and she got this for the kids and she got a 362 whatever account
Right.
for college. Like it's not like it's a secret, but I didn't come out and say, hey babe, I'm sitting right here at Navy
It's not
Federal
a
and I'm
joint.
opening up an account. Like
Yeah,
I'm
it's not
not
a joint
doing
thing.
that.
That's
But
it.
So
but
that's the
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, like, and that's the thing. And I wouldn't necessarily funnel money from,
Thought it was crazy.
like, I mean, I'm
That
just saying,
part.
like, or take money from, like, my husband to do so. Like, I would just make sure that I'm funding it. More
Gotcha.
so, like, oh, I'm taking my money from my husband and putting it in that account. Like, it's not like one of those things. Like, it's something that
Right.
I already have in place that it's already just set up or it comes out of my paycheck or something to that effect. I wouldn't be like, yeah, babe, I need my $2,000 for the month. You feel me? Because I need to, or
Right.
the week, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need that to
Right.
put into that account. Because I'm planning on you to croak in 2 years. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm not. I didn't do that.
Or I'm waiting for you to leave me, or I'm waiting to leave you secretly when you go to sleep, and then I take all the kids and everything, and yeah,
Fine.
Yeah, or I'm waiting for that
not
insulin
like that.
injection to work that I stab you underneath
Yeah,
your
nothing
tongue
too
that they
crazy.
can't figure out.
Nothing too crazy between the toes.
Yeah, it's
Not
usually
between
underneath.
the toes. Shut up.
It's under the tongue. It's
I'm
under
just
the tongue.
saying, yeah. So nothing
It's
too
under the
Hey,
tongue.
crazy.
look, long as it's soft tissue, okay, ladies? Focus, focus.
It's under the tongue, and if it's insulin, it's over insulin, they'll just think he's a diabetic. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that you should be killing people. I'm just saying
You
there's
These
some
are
know,
things I
things.
wouldn't be doing anyway.
I'm
I
just
wouldn't be
saying that if
caught
I did it, this is how I would do
doing.
it. Right,
Do it.
right.
This is what I
I
would do
wouldn't be
if it
caught
was
doing
something
any of
that
these
I had to
things.
do. Yeah, I would never be caught doing these things. I'm just saying that there
Never.
are
I
some
cannot.
things that you could do if you needed to, you know. But no,
It's
I
cracking
do
up.
think I don't think it would be secret, huh?
That's the rich auntie. So yeah, you can't sue
We
in them
we
because
back
we ain't
on
got
right.
no
Listen,
money.
we back on secret. Yeah, it's not wouldn't be secret.
Oh,
I don't think
but
anything would be secret. They
that
Yeah,
won't
and
that's
know.
and that's what I'm saying. I feel like I definitely like the maliciousness comes from, yes, the insecurities. And so it's like no different than, God forbid, y'all fall on hard times and it's like, all right, well, here, I got us. Well, where does money come from? Hey, well, I've been stashing XYZ, for, like you
You
said,
saying the
investments
worst
or what
words.
have you.
No, I've been saving. That's it. I've been saving. I've
Right,
been holding it.
right.
I just
As
been,
somebody who doesn't
yeah.
save, I'm going to say stash. Because, good
And
luck.
that's the wrong
It
word
may
you need
not
to
be
say.
there.
Stop saying stashing. Stashing
Okay.
mean it's like you trying to
Dash is
hide.
negative. Yeah.
Yes, you trying to hide
I
something. You trying to
mean,
be
the
sneaky.
balance might be negative in a week if you check it. It ain't much of a savings.
I'm sorry, man.
Right. She said
I
I'm
cannot.
saving it though.
Look, I said what I said, okay? But that's how it be sometimes. And so that's what I'm saying. I feel like in a situation like that, you would feel relieved as opposed to a sense of betrayal. And
Yes,
but
yes, yes, yes.
yes, that, well, you trying to leave me is again just that negative connotation of
It's also
underlying
depends on your partner.
insecurities.
Because your partner may feel that way. They may feel like that regardless of what you say it or how you say it. I feel like it just depends on the
That's
partner
true.
that you're with. Because some guys are like,
Insecure.
when it comes to finances and stuff like that, that's how they look. That's how they hold their masculinity, and that's how
Yeah,
they hold the weight, their weight. That their masculine part is based off of their financial income into the relationship. But
right.
what so financial insecurity to a man is way more detrimental than it is to
A
a
woman.
woman.
Yeah.
So when it comes to those type of things, as a man, I can see a man feeling some type of way. Now, not all men, but I can see men feeling some type of way. Like, well, do you not feel secure enough in this relate? Like, am I not providing enough, or what you got going on? Like, I can see that happening. And like I said, it just depends on your partner. Because
That's what
sometimes,
I'm saying. That's why I said I think it's based in an underlying insecurity in the relationship for whatever reason.
yeah,
Male or female.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That,
Because
that,
yeah, I agree. Definitely, there are a lot of men who, yes, they find that masculine power behind being the breadwinner in a family, in the household, I should
but
say.
again, you never know what the next day may bring to you. So God forbid
Hmm.
now y'all are he may have lost his job and now he needs to find out some things. Now the weight may be on you.
Exactly.
and then like from a person like I've seen firsthand in a couple, and said couple, the husband lost the job, and the wife had nothing. She didn't have a job, and nor did she have anything to contribute once
Mm,
the husband lost the job. And it was very stressful to watch, because this couple was, close to me. And it
mm-hmm.
was very stressful. It was stressful to watch. It was stressful to see, because it's like the women were like, well, as a woman, like, what have you doing? Like, what have you done? Like, why don't you have, like, where is your support? Regardless of what the husband has, said, or has done, like, where, like, how can you fall back? How is he supposed to be able to fall back onto you? Like, y'all supposed to, every day everybody gives 100%, but if you don't got 100% and I got 70 and you got 30, that's okay. Cause we still coming together with that 100, but you got zero. Like, it's nothing. And it's literally nothing. And it was a very difficult time for this couple, to the point where they had to, like, get, they lost their home. They ended up having to sleep in separate spaces, for the time being, because, one family was able to take in one family, but they didn't want to take in the other part. It was just a lot going on.
Yeah.
From an outside perspective looking in, it's like, dang, like, he can't even fall back on you. Like, he
And that's
can't
what
even,
I'm saying.
you know what I'm saying? Like, and
The
that's the
holding
main, for
side
me, that's
is
the,
helpful.
yeah, like, that's the real issue for me. Is like, they can't fall back on you. They can't, like, not even, I don't want to say rely, but it's like just being able to hold the weight. Like, for, like, even with just with me, like, you guys know, like, okay, what Shantae, like, you got everything together. You have it. But what if I don't have it? Can I call you and say, hey, I need $15 because I got put something, like something happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, I always have, and I always, I don't necessarily need the help or whatever, but can I call you if necessary? And that's how I look at things. Like,
Right.
I don't necessarily need you to be able to help me at this in this particular realm, but we don't know what tomorrow holds. So if I do need you for whatever reason, can I call on you? Can you be there? I mean, it would be no different than a woman putting in her trust in a man when she goes on like maternity leave. Like, I'm not working. And I may not be getting my full access to what my normal salary is or whatever it is. I'm not really sure how
So I'm gonna need you
paternity,
to help.
paternity or
Right.
paternity leave works. But I need to be able to know that my lifestyle isn't in detriment because I'm not working. Like, you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like, I don't want to, I definitely don't want to be pregnant and miserable. Like, this is not, that's not what I want.
Right.
But I also don't want to have to, go through my pregnancy uncomfortable. I want that,
And
that should be a
worrying
peaceful
about
time.
next. Right.
I
So
feel
I
that.
need to be comfortable to know that my husband is okay, that I'm not bringing in whatever my contributions or shares are at the time. Like, I need to know that my nails are still in the budget, and maybe I can't get them done every 2 weeks, but I can still get my nails done once a month. I can get my toes done.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to be uncomfortable while doing
Exactly.
something. And that's the same thing I would have the expectation that my husband is experiencing. Like, if
He's
he
still able
fell
to
on
get his
hard
hair
times,
cut.
or yeah, if
Mm-hmm.
he had fell on hard times or something like that, I don't want whatever lifestyle that we're already acclimated to change. Now, obviously, with different financial outlooks and projections, you may have to adjust, but properly adjust, not toxically adjust. And that's
Right.
kind of, you know, the way I would want it to look at. Like, not to the point where we've become actual minimalists and now, you know, we all
Y'all
sharing the
can't do
same
nothing.
toothbrush or something.
Right.
Like,
Oh,
you know what I mean?
oh, oh, oh,
Like,
oh.
you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? It's like you want to be able to still live your lifestyle and still live comfortably. That's why a lot of people, when they go through divorces and they go through those they get what is it called,
Uh, okay.
alimony, is based off of the lifestyle that she's used to. So what have
Exactly.
Right.
you know what I'm saying, like, what, so it doesn't matter, like, oh well, I was a breadwinner, I was making all the money, I was doing this, blah 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 blah. She was used to this lifestyle because she didn't work, because you didn't have her working. Like, you didn't want her to work. There was no need for her to work. So now she's accustomed to a certain lifestyle. So that's why they factor into that in certain things when it comes to things, like I said, like alimony and things like that.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, it all boils down to, like I said, just being able to be comfortable, having a secure partner, knowing that you guys have a strong foundation or strong principles on whatever it is that's, going on or what's happening, and
If you, as my husband,
being
like
able to
you
build
said,
from
if you
there.
as my husband say, "Hey, I don't want you to work," you got to be okay with the fact that I'm not working. God forbid something happened to what's going on with you and your funds, which is also our
And
funds.
but
If
that's
I
what
don't
I was
have
gonna
nothing
say.
saved, then now what?
Yeah.
Right.
And like I said, I've
That's
seen
what
that
I was gonna
firsthand.
say because yeah, y'all know me as somebody who does not long term, like that is my goal. I desire to be in a household where I do not have to work, and so my partner would be the breadwinner. And so it's like at the end of the day, say a situation like that did arise, hypothetically speaking, if I have funds set to the side, it's due to a business or allowance of some sort. But
Right.
again, that takes it back to, am I now gonna invoke some underlying insecurity? Because damn, babe, what you mean you can handle the bills because you got 15K stash? Like, damn, that's crazy. How much money am I giving you? Or are you gonna look at it like, I did good. I taught her well. I invested in her well. I'm glad she's able to, like you said, she's able. I can lean on her. She was responsible with the lifestyle I was able to afford her.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
should look the positive way, but who knows what a man is going to do? So that's a
That's
question
why
that I
you
think.
choose wisely, baby.
I think we should ask. I should
I
think we
mean,
should ask
I
our
done
viewers.
seen people done
Hopefully, there
choose.
are some men out there who can speak on the behalf of what a man would think. But from my point of view as a woman, I would think logically, obviously. So I'm thinking like, well, they say that we think most emotionally, but I would still be thinking like, Well,
You do.
as long as she actually used her brain for fucking excuse my language. Use her brain for for something other than just going shopping and nothing else. Like at least she's able to help the family.
Do y'all want to get a male opinion?
From our viewers, absolutely. We would love to hear from our viewers.
I'm always open to hear what men thoughts
Somebody
or
gotta
whatever.
say.
So
Exactly.
so whatever.
Liar.
That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, it's like, bro, when I heard about like Shaquille O'Neal's wife and him being mad about her stashing the money, it just
He was
people
mad.
have always said that man is stingy. They've always said it. And I feel like that's why he got mad because as somebody who has bro, I did not prepare to leave. And when I did decide to leave, the only reason I was okay is because this man literally made sure that I was okay. Like he knew he was taking care of me. He knew he was taking care of everything essentially. He gave me time. He gave me a couple months. Hey, get a job, blah blah blah. I'm gonna still give you money, do X, Y, Z, this, that, and the third. And I feel like at the end of the day, that preparing to leave mindset, that malicious um intent behind it comes from you being insecure that you gonna lose your bitch. Otherwise, it's just an investment. It's an investment for y'all future because that's your bitch. The more money you give her, the more she can invest in herself. Any man with money knows that. Anything you give to a woman, it is her job to make it better. And 9 times out of 10, we do. Whether it be our appearance, whether it be finances, whether it be businesses, just we overall invest in ourselves. And so long as you are part of that self, i.e., family, that circle, etc., good.
Yeah, I think that it's like I said, it just depends on the man. But it goes according to your partner. And you could get somebody like Shaq, who's stingy and said, I'm taking you to court because why you got my money stashed away like this. Or you can get somebody else who
Which
feels as
crazy
though
work.
you've done well. That's smart of you to do so. And you're literally like exactly a partner. But again, like I said, it just depends on the type of partner that you've decided to spend the rest of your life with.
Exactly. It's that right. It's that thought process. That's definitely important knowing the dynamic in your relationship as far as, how is this gonna make my partner feel? Cause yeah, 1,000% Shantae, if y'all have that relationship dynamic where I guess I would say the transparency is there. I won't, necessarily say it's a lie or a secret. But if they're used to a certain level of transparency and you bust out like, don't worry about it, babe, I got us. Yeah, you might invoke some feelings even though they're yeah, even though it's not malicious intent, or they may not necessarily feel that way. So
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you, as I had to learn, um, what you do out of just because you don't do it with malicious intent behind it doesn't mean that that person doesn't view it in a negative light.
a
And
1,000%.
so that kind of, you know, that doesn't necessarily like it doesn't take away from what they feel or what their pain or whatever it is, their emotions or what that are engulfed behind it, regardless of what the intentionality is in the situation. It doesn't take away from how they may feel. So
Right.
as I said, if you just have to know who your partner is, and have those conversations earlier on, so that you'll be able to better dissect and understand what's what. Like, okay, I know so and so might not like this, so let me just go ahead and make this clear. Like, let me just go ahead and lay all my cards on the table. Or
Yeah.
you know, Mr. 6'5", he's cool with it. So he ain't gonna have no issues. Like he speaks, he's cool with me, you know, being financially intelligent or financially, able if something hit the fan or whatever. Like I said, it just goes back to your partner. And these conversations are to be had earlier on. Because if you have these conversations early on,
1,000%.
you wouldn't have to think that I'm leaving you because we already had this discussion.
Right.
You know. unless other things or elements have come into play that you may suspect, cheating or something else. But outside of that, like, we've had this conversation from the beginning. A lot of times we don't, even in relationships and dating, we don't have these conversations because they're quote unquote too heavy to have. But these type of things that you need to know, let's not waste any time. Let's not waste your time or my time. Let's get
Big
to what's
facts.
necessary and talk on these topics, because the big topics that we talk about, one, it talks is able you're able to talk about these things, but two, it also shows that you could be vulnerable and have safe spaces. And those are two
Facts.
critical things that are crucial to having any type of successful relationship, whether platonic or and dating. Like, it's crucial. Like, I can be vulnerable, I can have these conversations, I can expose and really say my true thoughts. But a lot of times we put a shield up and we don't want to have the conversation, so we keep everything superficial. What'd you do today? How was lunch? Did you do, you know what I mean? And we don't have
Facts.
these conversations because we don't want to be the person that pulls the trigger on, what's too deep, or you know what I mean, and be like, oh, this girl just asked me about my financial portfolio, like if I got JP and Morgan, like stuff like that.
Right.
So
It's
that's kind
exhausting.
of, you do, you genuinely, you genuinely do.
Exactly.
You do have to have those conversations. And like I said, the earlier you have them, the better, the more likely you give yourself a chance to survive. Um, a lot of times we don't have these things and it's like, dang, I never knew that about this person. And I didn't think they was going to be mad about this.
Right, because
And
we're
then
definitely we're not
lo and
we're not
behold, they,
talking
they
anymore.
ready to rip you a new one.
We don't
So
do a
it's
lot
like,
of
you
thorough
gotta, like I said, have these conversations
conversing.
earlier on to prevent a lot of onset of things. A lot of times I feel like divorce and relationships in general can last further by having conversations up front, and not just being blinded by the honeymoon phase. Like, oh, I love him, he's great. Yeah, but he's terrible with money. So it's like, and now
Ooh,
you're poor. Like, so it's like, it's
that part.
like, it's important. Seriously, it's
That
important because
part.
yes, you love him, and he may be a great individual, but he could be awful with money. And now, and like, people are going to feel what they want to feel. I don't look at it whether, your feelings are always going to be valid. Whether I agree with them or not, they're your feelings, and I'm never going to tell a person how they should or should not feel. But I will say is, from a logical standpoint, um, are we cool? Are we safe? Are you good? Are we good? Is the family good? That's what matters to me, and I always check off those boxes. Now, I'm not saying I disregard my partner's emotions, because, your emotions are important. But when it comes to financial matters, and you can't, you find out that I have these things in place, um, especially from a breadwinner's perspective, or even a non-breadwinner perspective in the relationship, it's like, if I didn't have these things in place, our house can be going up for foreclosure. We could,
Hey,
default on the loan on the cars. We have lapses in insurance. The kids can't they can't continue to go to piano lessons, or whatever the situation may be, because of that. And my main point earlier was like, still being able to accommodate the lifestyle you've already been living. So, if
exactly.
our kids are going to piano, let them still go to piano. And I got the bread to cover it because I've been saving up money to cover these expenses in the event that something happens. And like I said, it's just about planning. And like I said earlier, like in our culture, we don't plan. We're
Yeah,
always, it's always something has to happen in order for us to, now we got to figure out what's going on, and now we got to have this conversation, and now all this other stuff. Like, it's important to have these conversations well ahead of time. Well ahead of time. You, like I said, no one's planning to leave, no one's planning to die, no one's planning to do any of these things. But in the event that something happens, we're okay. We're good. I have, there's a, God forbid something happened to me, there's a part of my will to give some money to my friends. And if my family don't, you're going to jail. Like, it's just, it's just, because it's a plan. It's a plan in place.
that,
It's not like, what my step stuff isn't just to be left to my money hungry people that I could be related to. It's not. That's not what it's for. I know sometimes with my friends, they got vision, they got plans, and they could put stuff in place. They could put a whole scholarship and name it after me or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I think my family wouldn't, but I feel like it would be more of a possibility. Friends did it. Like it's just those type of things. Like you have to have things set in place, and this is why, like I said, those conversations are important. It is important to have those things in place. Have plans in place, have tools in place. Whether you have a will, a living testament, whatever it is, you have somebody who's a POA for you, whatever the situation may be, you have all of these things lined up. So, what happened? God forbid your husband, let's say he's an engineer and he gets hurt at work, or he, mechanical engineer.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? He's an athlete, and he can. That's even more. In Shawnee's perspective, that would have been the first thing. You're not even guaranteed to go to work every day.
Exactly.
Your whole job is dependent upon your physical ability, like your literal physical ability. And every day, you're not always at 100%. I'm not even at 100%
Exactly.
all for a living. You feel me? You're not. So it's like those things are important, especially when you start looking at what is it that your partner does. Like, I'll be working around infectious diseases. Yeah, you might want to get some life insurance. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying, you know, I'm expecting to die, but my immune system could be compromised because I didn't work with somebody with monkeypox or something. I don't know, but you just gotta have like I said, just have a plan. Have a plan, and then don't wait to the day of that or to the
Agree.
moment. And now you don't have nothing to do. And then sometimes men can be crazy. You can have a man who you think love you, and then you come to find out that man done left you high and dry. Now you on the street. Now you
Oh,
knocking at my door
that
because
part.
you don't got nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. Now you at my door. Now I gotta ask my butler who coming to my house at 2 a.m. because I ain't have no company.
That part.
Because how you at the driveway? You can't even get up the gate locked. How you get up here? Who put you here? Why you here? That's what I want to know. So it's just like I've seen it happen where where the man is like, yeah, I'm leaving. I'm out. I done found something newer, hotter, and younger, and I'm out of here. So best wishes.
Yes. And that's what I'm saying. And I think it's that one right there that a lot of men fear when it comes to women. That whole, oh, I gave her this life and she got up and left me. But again, that's a projection of an insecurity. I feel like more often than not, because the internet is the internet. That's what we hear about. We hear more so about those situations than the women who are, like you said, investing in businesses or stocks or have portfolios so that, all right, babe, you got hurt. It's cool. You don't gotta touch the 401k. I got XYZ going on and we gonna be cool.
And that's like I said, you gotta have a plan. You have to have something in place. It's just that it's no different when with your kids, your loved ones, with funeral costs. You have to just have a plan. I would like to think that all my kids that I have would go to college. Some might just want to be a plumber, and I'm okay with that. But I'll have some money set aside for you to go to trade school. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You just have to have a plan. Like I told you before, a lot of times, and I think I had this conversation with you before, Lorraine. A lot of times when we have conversations, and oh, we gotta figure out how to get financial aid for my son, and I gotta figure out how to, and I'm having a trunk party, and everybody come and did all these different
Mhm.
things, and you had 18 years. You knew you wanted your kid to go to college. You have an
Mhm.
inclination in your you seen them when they was able to identify red and yellow, and they could see what you knew. What you have a vision, regardless of what that you know your kids, and to have something set up in place, but you wait till they turn 18 to now trying to figure out how I'm gonna pay for school and how I'm gonna get a scholarship and all these different things. And
Mhm.
I'm not. It's hard to, and especially in this economy, it's very hard to try to save a dollar when you need all your dollars. But it's just about to make a plan. You have a partner who prayerfully you all have like an income where it's sufficient enough for the whole household where you can save money, or you have a double income and you putting up money together. So you obviously do what works best for you. No question about that. But it's don't wait. You don't wait until your kid is 17 and you know they're a senior in high school and you're trying to figure out, I want them to go to school, but they ain't got no money to go.
So
And
what's
now their
next? Right.
dreams are limited because they got to go to community college when they really wanted to go to Howard and play ball. You feel me? Or go to UNC and do whatever. Like they now they're limit. Not saying that you can't get the same education anywhere. I'm HBCU graduate, a proud one at that. I'm just saying you have now put the scope
Let
a
them know.
scope, a scope. You've now put a scope on them where they have to now live within that instead of them being able to actually go out and live their dream. You feel me?
Because in
Like,
the words that they say, what is it? Plan a what is it? Damn. Go ahead. Let me think about it. Why can I think of that goddamn word? I was
but
thinking of
no,
it and I
it's
was like,
just
let me
like
let you
Caught the
finish.
you want to.
spirit
Like,
for a
I
second.
always
She
had a dream
spitting.
that I was going to go to
She's
UNC.
spitting, okay? She's spitting.
Listen.
I wanted to go to UNC. But no, I'm just saying, like,
I'm
I had
saying.
dreams to go to
Lord.
So
UNC,
if you
and
fail to
I
plan, you
would like
plan
to
to
consider
fail. That's all I'm saying.
I consider myself to be smart in the head, and I will never let my family live this story
You
down.
still
But
here?
I always thought I was going to go to UNC Chapel Hill. That was my dream school. I always wanted to go there, and I was going to be pre-med at UNC. And when it was time for me to apply for schools, I barely had enough money to cover an application fee. I'm like, they want $60. This is what I'm doing. I didn't have anything planned. And then
Girl,
when
you
I
happy.
ended up getting waitlisted for that said school, I ended up getting conditionally accepted, or what they call waitlisted or whatever. But my mom, like, who's paying for that? What
Exactly. I thought I thought y'all was going to figure
oh,
it out. Not
The
me.
sis said the money tree in the back.
yes.
Somebody got
It's
this
like
right.
being a emerging adult, you really don't have a strong, principle or foundation on money. Like, you just want to go to school, so you're not realizing, this is $75,000 a year. This is people's whole mortgage, or for
Exactly.
the 4 houses that we're covering. So it's like you don't have that concept. So now, like I said, because I didn't really have that much to financial support, I had to really go get it. Scholarships, and thank God my illustrious HBCU saw hope and value in me and gave me a full scholarship. But everybody is not always afforded those
Mm.
opportunities,
Praise
and
them.
you can't really, like I said, now I'm looking at Maryland to go to school because I can't go to school in UNC because I can't afford to go to North Carolina. So now I'm looking at Maryland,
Yeah.
and now I'm looking at, you know what I'm saying, and not saying anything is wrong with
Mm-hmm.
those schools, but now my whole scope has now changed,
Plan.
where you want to have your
Mm-hmm.
kids to be able to think big, dream big, live big, do it big. So if you got plans to go to USC,
Exactly.
you got a plan to go to UC Berkeley, baby, we're going to Berkeley. We're going to Cali. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I've been saving up this money before you was thought about. And that's where you have to start looking at. And that's where you, at that point, that's where you make those sacrifices and you start making those lifestyle adjustments that afford, that you plan to afford you to have those kids, or to make sure that those kids are taken care of, or to make sure your spouse is comfortable, or whatever the situation may be. Nobody wants to
Absolutely.
be trying to decide on whether they're going to eat dinner tonight or pay tuition for a little Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants that. Because me personally, the hell with little Jimmy. No, I'm just
Exactly.
if you don't want to be making those type of decisions, you don't make those type of decisions. You don't want to be forced to make those type of decisions. You just don't. Nobody wants to have those. And again, it's hard to save,
Girl, what?
especially when you don't know how to save. It just goes back to what I said about earlier about this black culture. We're not taught about financials, and I guess that's another topic for another day. But we're not taught about
Doc, I feel
financial
like you're trying to
Girl.
tell me
responsibilities.
something.
Oh, the phone was messing up. Yeah, I mean, I have T-Mobile, and I also have an iPhone 15. I'm not up there with
Stop
the
saying
17 yet.
that.
So,
Right, quit advertising for them people.
Yes.
I mean, I'm just
Cut that
saying,
out.
don't use them. Don't advertise. It's not an advertisement. Please don't use them. Like, don't. Go someplace
Obviously
Okay,
else.
I'm
not.
not editing none of this shit. It's all going in. I'm tagging the fuck out of them. Subpar ass fucking network.
Or y'all want to hook us up? We always here for promotion.
We here for some
Maybe.
sponsorship.
Yes,
I
Wink,
like the
we
wink.
color.
need
I do not
sponsorship.
look good in that color pink, though. However, I will wear it for some
Oh my
sponsorship.
gosh. However,
It's
comma.
magenta.
Yeah.
that's their favorite thing to say. It's magenta. Yes.
Okay.
Say pink. Whatever color I say it is, we ain't sponsored yet. The
Literally.
heck?
Now, when they come with a check to us for sponsorship,
Whatever you
then
want to get.
then I
And then it's magenta.
then it's magenta.
It's whatever color y'all want it to be,
We can
baby.
call it fuchsia, magenta, whatever you into. I'm cool with
Girl,
it.
I'll pick a new color for all I care.
I'm crying.
What we doing here?
You can invent a color if you really want to.
Absolutely, because I don't give a god dang.
I'm crying.
But yeah,
Well, guys, as usual, this is our unfiltered conversations about dating, healing, soft life, motherhood, money, boundaries, and relationships. We're gonna cover real topics, real stories with sisterhood energy every week.
No do our best.
be alive and direct.